You're headed to the slide deck.
I've smelled some coffee beans. My palate is cleansed.
This is it.
Please.
This could be a good idea or a bad idea. So, who am I? I'm Romeo Butters, after
philanthropist
billionaire. And in my billion-dollar empire, I'm managing dozens of projects at a time. Maybe in a billion-dollar company, you even have dozens of project managers. And their whole job is just basically following up, checking in, moving things along, measuring when projects are at risk, doing all this work. I also want to say that this is not like a software podcast. And I said to Scott, I was like, I actually don't want to do software ideas. And also, this feels like a rough ripoff of Visibility. It really isn't. I came up with this idea long before Jordan Sargent was a glimmer in the podcast's eye. But there are some common themes between the two, but I promise that mine is really unique.
It's a universal need if there's this many ideas in the space.
There's a lot of ideas, but this is not a software podcast. I promise that we won't
City Jump,
always do software.
Not a software. Andre's Kitchen,
totally.
Not a software.
Yeah,
VIB, definitely not a software.
Definitely the furthest thing from a software. Anyway, I'm Romeo. I run a billion-dollar company. I got all these projects, and all I really want to know is a couple of things. I want to know where to focus my time. I know that probably in any given business environment, some of my projects are humming along. They don't need any follow-up, but then there are others that are at risk, and those are the ones that I need to be following up with, that management needs to be keeping an eye on, that we need to get additional resources for all this stuff. I need to know who needs my help. I can't figure out who to go to talk to with all of these dozens of projects and all this stuff going on and concurrent things running.
Because this is like, I have to wait for the meeting to find out.
Exactly.
Like, oh, by the way, there's a big roadblock. Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know that. And I don't know who to help. I just don't know where to intervene.
Yeah.
And I don't know where to adjust. And naturally, in all business environments, there are going to be projects that slip and timelines that need to be adjusted and stakeholders that need to be informed and clients and all these things. But I don't know that typically until we're already way over time, right?
The problem has escalated.
Exactly. The problem is getting worse. We
gotta change this.
So it's 2 weeks before the due date, and I actually just barely have learned that this team is behind and this team is behind, and we have to push out to next quarter, right?
Yep.
And I'm learning way too late, and clients are upset, and stakeholders are upset, and all this stuff.
Sounds like this isn't a consumer-facing tool. It sounds like this is a
B2B software product,
B2B software product,
which is my bread and butter, unfortunately. So my solution now as a project manager is I just let things slip. I plan for timelines to be pushed and projects to get pushed back. And I would say when you talk to project managers, they're accounting for X% of projects to just naturally run over time and over budget.
Right.
Or I'm follow up constantly. I run around all day, and I hope that just micromanaging makes my problems go away. I think we've all worked with PMs that
and I think everybody loves micromanaging.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Across all departments.
Exactly. We've all been there where it's like, and we've all been the person that does this too, where you have a project that you just want to get done, but all you really know how to intervene is just every single day I'm slacking 15 people.
Where do we stand on this?
Mm-hmm. Not helpful, right? It pisses people off. Or in the highest level, you're just hiring more project managers. I've seen this too, where it's like we look at our department, we look at our company, we say X% of things are running over. Okay, we're just going to hire more people to manage projects. All of those are horrible solutions to a problem, right? So what I've come up with is try to hold your laughter, which is we've criticized AI a lot on this podcast, I think. I've criticized AI a lot in my daily life, but I think that AI just makes sense for project management. This is the only area.
This is the pot.
Yes, this is where we can really make AI work. I can plug AI into basically every part of my business process right now, except for project management. I'm pretty involved in the project management space, and there really isn't a tool that's taking advantage of like a machine learning model, an AI model to help people adjust project management. So here's what I've landed. Is AI definitely is super plugged into software, but it's plugged into all the wrong places. I think the obvious solution is like sales, where right now I can go out and if I type in like AI sales, I'm going to get 100 million projects. And all of them are going to be, they plug into your CRM and they read all your data and they let you know what to do and when and what's at risk and what's not.
Yeah, based on your data, who's closing, who's not closing.
Exactly.
We're the best leads to reach out to.
And it's all predictive, and they claim that it's going to drive all these great results. But what really frustrates me,
20% lift in revenue, Andre,
exactly, it could be huge
on every.
They're like, do you want to
website.
leave that money on the table? And I'm like, there's no money on the table. And what
Do you
what
care
I hate
about
about
20% lift? Do you even care?
It's so annoying. And the reason that I hate it is because in the sales environment, you don't control the inputs and the outputs. All you can control is what your people do.
Yeah.
But if an opportunity is at risk, if revenue is at risk, typically it's kind of on the client. Like they're doing something, they're not replying to emails, they're not booking meetings.
Right.
And then all I can do is tell the salesperson, follow up more. Project management is so different because you control both sides of the equation. You control what the inputs are, who's working on stuff, and what the outputs are, what's coming out, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I land on this. So what does that mean? Because obviously when we talk about AI, when we talk about project management, it's like, it's really easy to just be like, oh yeah, just plug the AI into your PM tool and then it just spits out solutions. Really, I think if a developer could make this solution and just provide three things, it would change lives in project management. And the three things are, one is risk scoring. All of the inputs are there. Like due dates are changing in your project management tool. There are
more tasks are being added.
Yes, tasks are being added, but nobody's updating existing tasks. Like all of the inputs are already there.
Yeah.
So tell me what projects are becoming more at risk over time. Like where are we seeing projects that are being updated less? The due dates are being pushed out. There's fewer people involved, or on the flip side, there are more people just constantly ballooning into the project. Tell me what projects are at risk versus not. The data is there. Learn from it, and then help me predict what's at risk. Timelining. This makes so much sense to me. When a contributor or a project manager is putting in a date that is too soon, like that's not realistic, look at the data. Look at all of our projects that have been completed in the last year and tell the person that's setting the date, that date is too ambitious. Move it back or adjust the project. Reduce scope, reduce the number of subtasks, or override it and say that you think you can hit this timeline. But let users know when they're being too ambitious. And bottlenecks. When projects are being pushed, tell me where to go. Tell me that the web team pushes timelines 82% of the time.
Right.
Find additional resources to accelerate the project. It seems to me like so different than a CRM where the data is like dirty and not accurate. In project management, in a developed company that can take advantage of this, the data's there, but there's nobody that's like actually putting predictive intelligence in it. And that just seems like such a gap to me.
What's interesting too is when I Google search AI project management,
there really isn't anything. There's like articles about it, but nobody actually has it.
Well, yeah. So first I see Asana, which is just a regular project management tool. It doesn't have AI.
No AI. We use it here.
Yeah.
There isn't any predictive part of it.
One of them pulled up is this company called Core or BQE, which has nothing to do with project management, and it's just
an AI tool.
It's an AI tool with like AI voice. There's nothing to do with project management. I don't know how.
There's nothing in the category right now. There really isn't.
So yeah, I think from a landscape, like there should be at least one company doing this, right? Where it's like project management is one of those things where maybe the lay person doesn't really understand exactly how it factors into every business, but almost every company has something like a project manager, even if that's not what their title is. Yeah. And you just get to the point, even in my role, I'm not necessarily a project manager, but there are times where I'm working on 10 things at once.
Yeah, we're all acting as them all the time.
Yeah.
And what would be interesting about a tool with AI is every business over time will evolve to the point where they need a project manager. But at even lower stages of business, those 5 to 10 to 15 person teams, what this gives you is the power to not have a project manager because your tool is actually helping you to manage projects, right?
Yeah, and I think risk scoring is good because you do 5 projects and you automatically know like, hey, like projects in this timeline, like you're increasing your risk of push.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I think the areas in which you've outlined make sense as like, these are realistic things to track, and these are things inputs that you're putting in. Yeah. And this is stuff that you're doing in your brain. You're risk scoring yourself, but like as the problem gets more complex, you just lose sight of it all.
Exactly. No, and the way the idea came to me is just setting due dates, which is so loose, and it's just like it's set around how much time do I think I need versus when is something hard, drop dead due. And then you have users that go out and they're just like doing the exact same rough,